Hey everybody, welcome to a very special episode of Unsealed and Revealed live. That's right, everybody clap. We clap. We're all clapping. Are we all clapping? Sure we are.
I did my best.
You did great. To my left, Bree Darling on the ones and twos. She is taking your questions, comments, and concerns in the Facebook as well as YouTube videos, so don't be afraid to ask those questions. We have some really, really exciting news for this episode. I have been authorized by Bree that we are going to be giving away the piece that we're going to be going over today. How exciting is that?
Not this exact piece,
well, no.
A fresh, unopened one.
One that we're going to steal from the warehouse and send out to you. But that being said, I'm going to throw over to my co-host, 6-scale expert and all-around good guy to know, Guy Klender. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. Excited to show this off.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. People have been clamoring for this piece. I've seen so many questions about it already that are saying, when are you going to do this piece? When are you going to do this piece? Well, we finally get a chance to do that. So what we have today is the Sideshow 6-scale flash piece. This is a Sideshow exclusive. They have given it to us. We finally get a chance to go for it. So Guy, we got that thing right there. Why don't you crack that baby open and see what we got?
Okay, well, as we look for our overhead, you're going to have your exclusive decal right here, our flash logo, and some great line art. And there's some really neat art all around the box.
I love that Sideshow does this.
It really makes it fun. And later, while I'm reviewing this, I will have you take a peek and see if you know which comics, because you are so good at that.
Well, comics, what I love about the Sideshow 6 scales that we've been doing, I already see a lot of Carmine Infantino in there. One of the things that Sideshow does is they do comic book 6 scales.
Yes.
Where, a lot of the other companies will do the movie versions of them.
Yeah, actor specific.
I really like that Sideshow does the comic book versions of them.
Yes. Now look how bright that is. Thank you for getting that shot, because you can see some of the different art. And once I take the figure out, we're going to show off the inside of the box here, and then I am going to pass it off to you to see if you know.
I'm not going to give the box back.
Well,
I'm just gonna keep
so he will be an unopened figure. But let's take a look here. So inside, what they've done, we saw this with our Batman, Joker, some of the others. They are a 2-tiered case, and then they're going to have the sleeve to hold it up.
A little flash belt sleeve.
Yep, I like that.
That's cute.
This is nice die-cut paper. When you're pulling it off, be careful, because of course I want to put it back on. Those are nice, tight, sharp corners, and it would really kind of bum me out if you dinged them.
Yeah.
So
don't cut your finger on. No, you can't.
Yeah, no, there's no warnings and no instructions in this one. So I didn't have any reading material except for the frames of the comic that are on the box. So, all right, let's take a look. Outer shell. We'll pull this off so we can see figure inside. All right. This is a 2-tiered one.
That's Flash.
This is Flash. We've got our 2 portraits, our lightning effect, our main figure. Our under side is going to have our additional hands, our additional swap out feet, as well as our base.
See, what's cool about the Flash is that the design is so simple that it gives the designers an opportunity to sort of play with that. Because the Flash design is such an iconic, classic. Like, when I think of the Silver Age, I mean, the Silver Age is generally considered the first appearance of the Flash on. So the Flash sort of signifies that kind of start. And it really does, that costume, that pattern, that design does signify for me the sort of Silver Age of comics. So I'm really excited that you got to crack that open.
Good. I'm going to put our inner box up on the turntable to kind of show off some of the artwork on there. As you can see, just incredibly bright colors. Any idea the artist on that one?
I believe there's Carmine Infantino. Like, my immediate jump whenever I see Flash art is going to be for Carmine. He's what I would consider that. My knowledge of Silver Age DC artist isn't as deep as it could be for Marvel.
It's deeper than 100% of the people I know.
Oh,
which
I
is
wouldn't
great.
say that.
On the back, you're going to have the photo of the figure with one of the additional hands that he comes with, the thumbs up one, which I really dig, and I love that particular portrait on there. Other side, again, this is wraparound box art that we've seen, but I'm going to turn it here.
I do
show
love
off.
the photography,
There we go.
the sideshow photography there.
Hey, Guy,
Yes.
You want to angle it just a little
would
bit?
you display your figure with this box?
Yes. Yep. With all of the Sideshow comic ones that we've seen, that we've looked at so far on the show, all of those I think really display nice.
They really pop well off the
with
box,
the
right?
box. It's showing off that art. Whether or not you're going to show the inner part and kind of have your figure back in it, or the outer art. But just, again, great artwork all around inside once you remove that inner shell. So, again, like I
very
said,
vibrant.
Yeah, just really, really bright colors. And that's something that I think is really neat. And on the other side of the outer box, we show the inside. We've got some great
The sort of the cityscape.
cityscape.
We show the speed lines in there.
Speed lines in there, and then on the bottom, see if I can angle that. But again, more of the comic panel art.
Oh, it's so cool.
Okay, so that's
I
just,
do really love those. I love the graphic arts of Sideshow. The
Yeah,
people that do throw these boxes together. It's such a talented crew. I love sneaking in to the graphic arts department to see what they're working on.
See what they're gonna
because
do.
I love they put a lot of love into those boxes, and we always talk about the boxes when we're here, but I did want to give a shout out to the graphic arts department for being so great at what they do.
so on the turntable, I've put up the base. It's got a bit of a kind of a concrete look, I'd say.
Marble.
Marble.
That's marble, right?
Yeah.
It's a marble vibe. It kind of gives me a Hall of Justice vibe. Like if you were going to be having him stand, like
There we
I feel
go.
like the Hall of Justice would have marble floors.
They probably would.
That would be bad for Aquaman. He'd be slipping all over the place.
True. So yeah, you're right.
I feel like I threw you for a loop. By making an
Yeah.
Aquaman
Now I'm
joke.
trying to figure like what's the best way to have him around in there. But what I thought was interesting is written down at the bottom is "Welcome to the Flash Museum."
Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. Yeah, the Flash Museum. That makes way more sense. Because there's a Flash Museum. It's Keystone City, right? That's the name of it.
Keystone City is the name of it. But standard C style stand. Okay, so I'm going to pull out the rest of the accessories that we have on the lower tray and then move that tray out of the way. It has one of my favorite.
Oh, that's really cool.
This is one of
I'm
my
looking at it.
Favorite little accessories, and that's the swap out shoes. He's going to come with multiple pairs of hands. We've got a right and left in the flat kind of,
sort of.
very, very fast.
Is that how when you run? Is
blade.
that how you do your? Do you not run?
I do, but not as I more run with the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Like I'm not.
I'm not
survived.
I'm
this
surviving.
run, yeah.
I'm making it one more K.
I was doing sprints this weekend and I realized I was doing like the knife hands, like the cutting through. And in the middle of the sprint, I was like, why am I doing this?
So again, what we've seen with Sideshow, and it's something that I really like that they do, is that these additional hands are coming with their own pegs. They can swap out, and it just means that you have an
Sideshow's
accident with them.
Nailing
Nailing
the
it with
pegs, yeah.
doing the additional pegs. Sometimes, with other, you're only getting one or two pegs. These are always getting all of them. So we have those ones, the thumbs up hand, kind of a fun splayed out stuff.
Yeah, that looks like if you were going to go into the sprinter stretch.
Yeah, there we go.
Like that would be
There you go.
when you say you're going to have him race your Superman 6 scale.
And
you
then
know?
you've got your point.
Say if you want to poke Superman in the eye in that race.
Exactly. Which is, I think that's cheating. Now let's go back to our overhead so we can show off what's in our tray. My favorite thing that I like on all of these is going to be that swap out portrait. Okay, we have two different ones. Okay, the one that is going to come on it is where we see the pupil in the eye. And then we have the white eye version that's standalone.
That right there gives a really good. You can move the hands if it makes you more comfortable. It looks like you're making him afraid of stepping on his own hands.
Stepping on his own.
And
Well,
like,
do you want to step on your own hands?
I mean, I'm not a toy, so I'm not necessarily afraid of it in the same way. I see that look you gave me. But I do like this sculpt. It's very Barry. You know, it really does sort of. This really does embody sort of the Silver Age to me. I know we've done a lot of pieces. You know, we did some a while back that were more modern looking.
Mm-hmm.
This has such a classic vibe to it. It's given me like such a big throwback to the cool toys that we had growing up. For me in like the 80s and for you in the 50s. And
Why, thank you. Let's take a look at that portrait, the shot that we just had on there. If we can get it tight up on that, I want to just look at that skin tone that they've done here in the face. Really, really, really lifelike. I like that kind of one side of the smile up. A little bit.
yeah, it's
He
very,
kno-
it's
he
very
knows,
coy.
Yeah, he knows something you don't know. And I dig that.
I think it's how to use the Speed Force.
Well, I like that. I dig it. Let's work our way down the suit. Okay.
The fabric of the suit is really interesting. What's the vibe on camera is very textured.
Yeah, it is a little bit patterned. Okay, this isn't just a standard kind of straight nylon, and they have done that printing directly on the fabric, so those raised lines you see stay nice and bright on there. The stitching, I'm going to spin it around so we can see some of the stitching on the back shoulders and around the neckline.
Oh, that's cool.
You can see just how
What an
just how
interesting
tight
pattern.
the stitching is. Yeah, it's a neat one, and it breaks up that red. It gives it a little something. It removes that flat feeling to it, which is great. Now the belt, if we get here, you can see I have a little bit of movement in there. And I like that I have that when I'm going to be doing any of my running poses, that I'm not worried about that kind of gouging in or other. Okay, then over onto, let's take a look at the hands as we work our way down on the figure. Okay, it's got kind of that leather gauntlet,
that
a
faux
break
leather,
and a break on the wrist, and then we'll be able to remove our hands there. When I show off these lightning effects, we're going to swap out those hands and take a look at those. Then we work our way down toward the boot and the pant legs. There may be some questions about the wings. Those are a harder plastic, okay? This isn't soft. I'm glad that it is, so it stays nice and crisp and tight.
But be careful with them.
But again, be careful on that.
Yeah.
Same with up on the cowl.
Yeah.
These are a harder plastic, so be cautious when you do them. Down back to the boot. Okay, it's all gonna look like one piece. We do have a break here on the ankle. Loving that tread, and we're gonna show off and talk about that right now.
There it is.
I'm going to lift up.
Lift it up. We got tread watch.
Boom.
There it is.
Look at that. That is some heavy gripping.
That's going to get some traction right there.
Exactly. And that's, wait till I show off the swap out accessory, which I really
You know what's
like
also really good that you're doing this for the tread watch is to show how you can pose the figure with one leg up.
Yes.
Which I think a lot of us are going to want to do.
I think so. I think this figure is going to be one that you're probably going to do in a running stance.
It deserves an action pose.
Yes, this is more of an action.
Even a museum poser would probably want to do an action pose on this one.
Yes.
I know there are some people in the group that they only do museum
They're worried
poses.
about museum poses and would I keep it in a dynamic pose for long? Am I concerned about the I am not at all concerned that this outfit, leaving it in a dynamic pose, is going to be one that is going to be compromised.
I like that.
Okay, because of the nylon stuff the fabric in which they've used to make it is not one I'm worried is going to kind of bind or crease or dry out or anything like that. So, but again, there's that tread there. While we've got that up, I'm going to show that the ankle, you have all that articulation in. All right, the side to side, back and forth. Now, let's pull it around and show the front of one of these others. And because these are a leather boot, they've actually given it those bit of
That kind of like a
creases,
textured crease, yeah.
And what I like about this swap out accessory, and we're going to do that with the right shoe here, is that in order to maintain that look, but give us some action, they've given us these swap out feet.
Yeah, these are really great. Yeah, I mean, we've only seen them in a eagle eye shot from the overhead camera.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have you put this on.
So what this allows us to do with it is maintain that look, that solid leather piece versus an articulated toe that we've seen in, say, a Spider-Man or something softer. This needs to have that tight
the
leather.
tightness to it, yeah.
And I'm just going to put him on the stand there just so you can see how the turn is. Obviously, you're going to pose him how you like, and he has both a right and left this way.
It is one of those things, too, that you get so much in the detail out of something that is basically only two colors.
Yes.
Like, it's just the red, just the yellow, and those boots are up there. The design, the natural design is a flat yellow for those boots. And yet the detail that goes into the stitching work, the leather work in it, and still maintaining that same color, it looks so cool.
Like right up here, that's what I like.
Yeah.
Is that natural turn. And we don't really see that. I mean, like, you know, a lot of our Star Wars characters all have those tight, shiny black boot. Well, we don't get a bend like this, and that's because they just don't really.
Yeah, they don't have the same.
They don't have the same.
But this is designed specifically.
This is designed to do that action. And that to me is really, really fun. Bree, question.
Would you ever keep one of each shoe on the way you have now?
Oh yes. In fact, that's exactly.
So you're gonna go?
It's funny, but that shoe was the thing that made me most excited about doing this review.
Unless you're doing a sprinter's pose, like getting in the sprinter pose,
yeah.
you would want to have one flat.
Yeah,
and one.
you might want to have one flat with that. We're going to work our way back up, and I'm going to show off a hand swap as well as our lightning effects. All right. In your top tray, you're going to have two lightning effects that are for the hands and two lightning effects that are for the feet. All right. Now these are a harder plastic with a bit of a sharp end to them. So when you are, they aren't breaking when I give it a little movement here. But again, be cautious and careful, particularly when you're putting it over the outfit as not to scratch or damage your figure.
Especially anything that we have that's of this size. Because remember, this is 6 scale. So
right.
Even though it might look bigger on the screen, these are relatively finely detailed pieces. To always be careful. I mean, if you're going to make an investment in a piece like that, you really want to exercise the most caution you have. I mean, this is your baby, right?
Yeah. So let's take a look here overhead. We are going to just pull out our hand here, like so. There's that peg in there. Now, the cuff is a removable cuff, all right? And that's going to allow you for more of the play. I'm going to slide my lightning effect over. Be careful of those sharper ends when I do it.
Gotta be careful.
Exactly. They are not. You will have posability. They're not locked into one specific way in which they have to be.
Yeah, you can kind of feel it out.
But you can choose.
Putting it on, I would say be very careful when you put the hand back on.
Yep.
You know, like if you slip, you don't want to poke your finger in the end of it or
Correct.
something like that. So this is another example of one of those. Please be careful when you are applying stuff. I mean, we make it look cool, but you don't want to poke your fingies.
Exactly. All right. So let's take a look at that. It turned the head on there while I was doing that. But I'm going to put it up here, spin him on the turntable so you can see that effect.
Looks like he's about to karate chop your guts. Coming real fast.
But it's fun. Since we've got that one there,
Do it.
we're going to take and do the ones that attach to the feet on the other. First, before I slide it on here, give it a little show off. Same thing. This is that same harder plastic, same sharp points there. Right up here, you're going to see that there's that kind of curve out. And I'm going to slide that over. There is enough play in there. That, boom, just goes over.
Oh,
And
wow,
I'm not-
that's easy.
Yep, not worried. All right. And as I said, since they are non-specific as far as how they go on, if I wanted to flip it the other way, do it a little differently.
Oh, look at that.
Okay,
That's
so
cool.
you do have
Well,
some
I like
options.
that a lot, yeah.
All right, so
I'm really excited that
there's 2 and 2.
Yeah.
2 on the arm, 2 for the feet, but they can swap out either way that you like them.
And as a reminder, stick around because we will be giving one of these babies away.
Oh, yes,
So,
indeed we will.
and I get to decide when, which is
Which is that power that you...
it's a power I wield, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm drunk with power.
Exactly.
I am a complete maniac, and I make the rules here.
All right. As I swap out these hands, Jeff, I do want to hand you the box and
I
have
would
you
like
see
to look
if you
at
can.
that. Yes,
Yes,
this
peek
will
at some
keep
of this
me
artwork.
This will keep me quiet for
And,
quite
well,
some time.
there's some reading material in there. There are no instructions, but you can read all of the individual panels. All right, so let's take a look at some of our other hands. These are just fun ones that I like. I love the thumbs up, and I'm going to put that onto our right hand. And not that I would display these two at the same time, but I do want to show them off, is our point finger, our right point finger, and our other thumbs up. And the on one foot. This would be an interesting pose to keep him in.
What a flirty little guy.
Yeah, he's he's loving it.
But this is him now he's standing without the
Without the
face.
stand, and I've not done a lot of movement to try and work on a particular balance. I just really wanted to show off all of them there. When I said the gauntlet or cuffs around the hand and forearms, and the thighs, the top of the boot, and that belt, all of these are non-attached. They do have a bit of mobility. And we've talked about that a little bit before when I've said I would kind of lift up on the upper portion, adjust the boot to where I like it, and then can pull downward.
Oh, that looks like you're about to make him sprain his ankle.
Yes,
Just flex the ankle in a little bit. Make him run.
exactly. This is
Poor
well.
guy.
I'm just showing.
I've done that before.
I'm
And
just
it's
showing
not
you
a great
that.
experience.
But
Ooh, now it looks like he just stopped in the middle of his run to give the thumbs up.
Just to
and-
give a
and
thumbs
finger
up and go,
guns.
haha, I'm winning, which is neat. Now we're going to show off the second portrait. Okay, as we said that this has 2 portraits. I'm going to set the one down on here. Now, this one here has those white eyes, but also the wings. I'm going to show this overhead. I'm actually going to remove the other head because we're going to swap out anyway. I'm going to put them next to each other, but then I'm going to do kind of a look upward. I'm going to tilt them both upward to kind of show off what they've done here, which is kind of neat. I like these both, and I think I'm always a fan of the 2 portrait.
Yes, of course.
I'm always a fan of the 2 portrait. You can see that the lines on the mask and the way in which they are formed are different. So these are completely different.
They are, and it kind of, I know it says in the Sideshow description that this is Barry, but it kind of feels like you can play a little with this
I think you can
Wally, because Wally had the lenses as well.
Now let's take a look at that, what we'll call the Wally for now.
Sound off in the chat. Are you a Barry or a Wally? What's your...
Is take a look here at the way the wings are done.
Yeah, the wider going out.
The wider going out. I'm not sure if you're able to really see or how I can angle those correctly, but maybe if I do them overhead. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
You can see the one is more of a straight back.
And what, that, like,
or the white-eyed
lens
one.
eye, it's about a 30 degree angle
Yep,
almost.
this guy has a bit of a zing to it. They're more of an outward. I'm going to swap that head into it right now to show that off as well. All right.
The answer seems to be a resounding Barry.
Oh.
Okay, it's a resounding Barry on that one there.
I saw some Wallies in there, though.
A couple of Wallies, but not a whole lot. Mostly Barry.
I'm going to put back on the flat foot here, and we're going to show off the rest of the articulation. Let's take a look, though. When I do that, again, this is one I told you that you can lift up. When you do that, you'll notice that it is connected to it. So
do not take off.
Don't yank it off. None of the parts other than the gauntlets and the head are removable on this figure. It doesn't mean they don't move a little bit, but as far as completely removing them, that's a don't. All right? I do. I love the thumbs up.
Yeah, it is good.
I really do.
I like the lens.
I really do like
I
that.
like both head sculpts a lot.
Yes.
I like them. I think they do. They give you a different vibe for that. The lenses. Whenever I see lenses on a character, it always immediately equates for me the comics.
Yes.
Because we're so used to movie pieces having like the really realistic eyes.
Yeah.
That when I see something like a
Or a
lens
dark
character,
lens maybe, but-
like we did the Batman, we had the Sideshow Batman earlier,
Correct.
and that had the lenses as well.
I like that. And Magneto, we did have that.
Magneto had that.
So let's take a look and let's work our way down again from top to bottom and do some articulation. All right. Our head's going to be the ball jointed, so you get plenty of movement as far as the head. Downward. Look how far down he can look. Pretty intense. I like that. And we can pull back pretty high. The neck also has some movement. So, as you mentioned before, if you wanted to do kind of one of those runner stances, and I haven't worked with the figure to do that, but if you wanted to, you have that upward.
I like to think that this is what you think runners look like when they're about to run.
I watch the Olympics each year, and I often see the thumbs up and point at the same time. But nonetheless,
It looks like
What
he's
I like
leaning
is-
in, right about to ask.
what
you.
I like is just the ability to give that much upper movement to the head. All right, so let's take a look at all the way back on the arm. like
Wow,
that.
that's a good flex.
Okay, so great flex on there. So full jointed on there. Also,
They've really ramped up the flexibility for this piece.
really ramped it up on this. And what I said is, I'm not concerned about the outfit. I'm not worried like, oh, this is super fragile. Again, I know that. Well, here we're going to talk about Terry again. But as Terry and myself have each said, whenever we're doing one of these, when you do have these outfits, it's going to be little movements, and then little adjustments on the fabric to get that tight. But we can go above 90 on that.
Look at that.
All right. Shoulders are also articulated that we can go backward. Okay. Give them a little of that back, and then also forward. Okay. Working our way down to waist and chest. A lot of motion.
Wow. Look at them abs.
Exactly. But a lot of articulation there. All right, let's take a look at the forward bend on there.
I'm looking for his keys.
Yep.
Have you
Check
seen
it.
my
Did he
keys? I lost them somewhere in Oregon.
You know, if somebody did the whole "did your shoes untied" joke to him, and so he has to look down. So you've got that one there. There we go. And let's do a little side to side on there.
Oh, look at that. Side bends. A great stretch, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
I call them old-timey stretches when I do the side bends.
But again,
Wow, yeah, they really
a lot of balance on that.
flexibility here.
On that there. Let's talk about the hips. Now, in the legs, these are ratcheted when I come to the side. Particularly in the legs of a character that's going to be in runner stance or this and the other. When you have that ratchet, it's holding those poses a little bit tighter, a little bit better. And I'm not worried that it's going to give after a while and I don't want to leave it in that pose for long. Not worried about that.
That's what I think. This is the directions that people are going to care the most about, is the forward and the backwards of the.
We can go.
He's kicking. Okay, he's punting.
This is Rockette style. Backward, not as much, but forward, we have quite a bit. Then let's take a look at the knee.
How far back does it go? You said it doesn't go back a ton.
Doesn't go back a ton. Let's see. Can we lift up the arm there?
So this would be where bending at the waist is really going to
show off
that.
Show that forward.
Yeah, because if you want to really add the dynamics of speed.
And I think it gives the leg that line.
Well, this also plays, too, very much to the idea of you keeping that head up. You know, that when you do that, when you lean the body forward, there you go. See, now he's an airplane. But if
I know, we've got it all over the place.
But you could do a dynamic pose where you could have the leg backwards and his other leg forward, like going like that, and that kind of gives that full-on realistic view of motion here. By putting that chin up as high as it goes, you've now really created a sprinter.
It really goes, because you not only have that ball joint up here as the lower neck area.
That looks really good.
Which is fun. You can point that out, throw that back. Again, give it a little bit of wiggle. Showing you how far we're going to turn that. If you're going to go that far on that, remember I told you that wing is hardened plastic? It will actually stop before it's going to hit the other. Whether or not that was a safety in the design or whether or not that's just how it works, but I don't have to worry that I'm going to stab the fabric and tear it on that. Now this is an awkward. Let's see.
Do you think the flash?
Oh, wow, look at that.
Would you look at that?
Let's get that. Now spin him around for the camera, see if he stays up. Oh, you can go a little faster than that. Oh, you ruined it. Oh, you're fired, Guy.
Oh, well.
You're
It was fun. It was really fun while it lasted.
It was a great show.
It was fun until my turntable spin could not work. But let's throw them back up on here to show it into the museum-esque. But just a lot of really great articulation to get those run stances. I think with this one here, when it comes time for me to pose him at home, I'm probably going to look at still shots of a lot of Olympic runners and things like that and try and mimic that positioning.
Is that what you did to get ready for this episode? Because we all know that you pour yourself into...
I did look at the way, I looked at some Jesse Owens ones and some other gold medalists.
You really did, huh?
Yeah, I typed in gold medal runners.
You are a madman.
Well, I was just curious.
Complete and total psychopath.
I was curious because, like I said, my favorite thing and what I was so excited to see was this run articulation there. I just thought this was such a neat design to have that leather like that, and it's something that I hope that Sideshow and others as well kind of think to do more when we have those the crisp leather boot. Look is to show that off.
Well, here's what I'm going to do, Guy, because I'm feeling nice, and I feel like we've covered a lot of the stuff that we need to do, and I feel like we need to give this baby away.
Me too.
So what we're gonna do is Bree is about to drop the link to the Gleam contest that we are about to go. Now this is gonna have a very short window. I think it ends on Thursday, okay? So all you gotta do is click on that link. It'll show you all the different ways to enter. And there's more than just one way, and you can add all these different forms of entry in there. So click on that baby when it goes up, and then you are going to have a lot of options and a lot of chances to win this. Which I really like. I wanted to hold this off for as long as possible, but I feel like sort of finishing off on that posing aspect is good, because I think at this point in time, all we really need to do is field questions, comments, and concerns.
Yes.
Like I said, this contest does end on Thursday, which would be the 4th, 5th?
Ooh, the
4th?
6th.
The 6th?
Thursday the 6th at 2 p.m. PST.
Okay.
Pacific Standard Time.
So that is when it is going to end. So make sure you get on that. That being said, you don't have to leave the video now. That would be silly. You don't have to do that. Stay here with me. I need you to be here with me. Hold me. Talk to me. Tell me I'm doing a good job. But then enter. And sorry, this is unfortunately for the United States only. Is that what?
Yes, U.S. only.
Sorry about that. But that's how Flash runs. Back and forth, coast to coast. You know how this goes. He's not going to run across the water. That's weird.
We are getting a few questions about the color, and maybe it looks a little more orange.
I think that's...
We've had that when we've looked at red items here on the show, is that they will often appear to have more of a burnt umber, orange-esque quality to them. But this is a vibrant red.
Yeah, what happens is because of our light filters, as well as our camera, the way it picks it up, it's going to come off as a little orange. This is like a primary, out of the Crayola box red.
Yeah.
It's that bright. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is a very, very bright red. And did you finish reading all of those comic books?
I looked through them. Yeah, of course I did, because
Because you do.
Because I can do that, yeah.
Bree, any other questions that we didn't perhaps cover on The Flash?
No, you pretty much covered all of it.
Yeah, you
Oh,
landed a lot. Really, I love this piece. I'm glad we got to do it. People have been
I really like
on us.
I really am liking the comic and the concept ones that we're seeing come out in the 6 scale. Is that I'm not so worried about recreate a single moment from the film, or does it look like so and so actor?
Does it look exactly like this?
This allows for the artist to really get involved, and then you as the poser, you're the final person in the sculpt that decides how it's going to look in the pose.
I agree with you on that too. I think that the Sideshow art team is great. I mean, I shouted out graphic arts, but everybody from the cut and sew department to the sculpting department to the painting department, they all really knock it out of the park. And this gives them that sort of leeway to play more than just doing a photorealistic version of whatever character you saw in whatever movie. This does sort of seem like more of a shout out to the classic comics fans, of which I am one.
Yes.
It
has great shoes.
How many swap out hands are there? Is that 5 that I can
He's going to come in the box. He comes where the fist hands are what is going to be attached on it. He has what Jeff and I are going to call the runner stance right hand, a flat running right hand, and the pointing right hand. These are the 3 right hands that he's coming with. Oh, great from above and great from, there we go. Those are our 3. That's our swap out portrait that we talked about. And then our flat left.
Like the knife
thumbs
hands
up.
and then the
Yep.
thumbs up.
Thumbs up left. And then the left as far as the fist. So you have 7 hands in total, 4 feet and 2 heads, along with the 4 lightning effects. And I'm going to throw one on the shoes just to kind of show it off.
Do you think the portrait looks like the 1990 TV series Flash?
John Wesley Shipp.
Yep.
I
think Shipp has a very square jaw.
I think
I think it's more he has the sort of superhero
I think
jaw,
he was definitely cast because of that jawline.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it's very similar when we talk about Batman and things like that. You better have that jaw. And I think that he definitely did. I just threw on one of the lightning effects down on the left shoe so you can
Man, he
see
is
that one.
standing still fast.
Some do with it. And then we'll just show off that shoe there. Doing it the other way. All right.
Oh, they look so good.
Yeah, just
Dude, they look so good.
well, you've got that upward bend there, and then it continues with the lightning effects.
I like that. This gives you a lot of chance to have fun. I love the flexibility.
Yep.
Love, love, love the costume design.
This is one that, and Jeff, you brought it up, and I think it is important. This is one that I don't think is a museum poser.
No.
I myself will not be doing this in a museum pose.
Like, even if you
leads
are
himself.
a museum poser yourself, like, I feel like the pose for this character is motion.
Yeah, is motion.
I love that. And you know what's funny about this piece is it's deceptively simple. Meaning, at first when you look at it, you're like, oh, this is a relatively simple piece, but all the stuff you can do with it, all the stuff it comes with, and the detail that goes into every aspect of that is just so strong. It's a really great piece.
Just fun. Just a lot of fun. And you get extra shoes. So you get 4 tread watches, quad watch.
Quad watch.
We don't get that too often.
Yeah, I like that. Well, that being said, I feel like, Bree, unless we've got
Good
any
luck
more-
to
No,
all of you
that's
in
it.
your entries.
Yes, good luck to all of you. One of you will get just slightly better luck than the rest. But that being said, again, don't forget to hit up that Gleam contest. You have a couple of days to enter. Do all the stuff you need to do. For watching, thank you so much. For watching, thank you so much. Look, man.
I thought we were called Unsealed and Revealed.
Look, man, I got all the words out. They don't have to be in order every time.
And not every time.
But that being said, don't forget, check us out. Join our Facebook group, Let Your Geek Side Show, on YouTube. Make sure you hit like and subscribe and hit that little notifications bell because we got a lot of cool stuff coming your way, and you want to get those push notifications so you know those are coming. As always, forever and forever, thank you so much, Bree Darling, on the ones and twos for taking questions, comments, or concerns.
Anytime.
Oh, anytime. But that anytime is usually going to be Mondays at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time live, and then afterwards on YouTube. You can stream it. But remember, you're going to want to watch live. Thank you, of course, 6-scale expert and my friend, Guy Klender. Guy, thank you so much.
Thank you. Whoever wins this, I hope that they send us a photograph of how they've posed it.
Guy,
So please
how
do
did you
that.
come up with such a good idea? Where did you come up with that? Pose it and a photo? How'd you come up with it? That being said, yeah, we are really excited about that. And we're a little jealous. We don't get to win these things.
No.
But that being said, I think we're done. My name's Jeff May. You guys have been great. Thank you so much. And don't forget to let your geek side show. Hey, did you like that video? Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen and click that bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.